Given below two statement. So this question statement type questions. Statement. When any plane, here highlight word is any plane passing through the central axis of the body divides the organism into two identical halves is called radial symmetry. Here keyword is radial symmetry. And a statement 2 in phylum Echino, both adult echinodermata, larva echinodermata are showing radial symmetry. And these questions which came from animal kingdom, here from animal kingdom, so which mainly focus on symmetry. So and also in which focus organism is echinophylum. Let's discuss some importance of this symmetry. What exactly this symmetry and what are the types of symmetry we will discuss. Yes, here generally symmetries are two types. One is radial symmetry and bilateral symmetry. So radial symmetry means in which any plane, very important word keyword is any plane which passing through the central axis of the body and which divide the, for example, it is a body of any organism if you take, and if any plane which passes through the central axis, this plane or either this plane or any plane which passing through the central axis of the organism which divide the organism into two equal identical halves. Such symmetry is called radial symmetry. Now coming to bilateral symmetry. So in bilateral symmetry, only one plane which passing through the central axis of the body and that divide the organism into two identical halves. Such type of symmetry is called bi means only one plane. For example, here a body, only one plane which divide the two, only one plane which divide the organism into two identical halves. Such type of symmetry is called bilateral symmetry. But in this case, any plane which divide the and which passes through the central axis of the body and which divide the organism into two identical halves, then it is called radial symmetry. So in both symmetry, the keywords here we need to remember is in any plane means that must and should be radial symmetry. If only one plane means that is bilateral symmetry. In questions they ask only radial symmetry. So that is the definition of any plane. Okay, right. So now coming to echinodermata, generally echinodermata adult shows radial symmetry and echinodermata larva shows bilateral symmetry. Okay, so here radial symmetry shows by the adult echinodermata and larva bilateral symmetry shown by the larva echinodermata. Okay, so this is the first statement. And here say, so any plane which passing through the central axis of the body divide the organism into two identical halves, it is called radius. Yes, so statement one is true. Now statement 2, phylum Echinodermata, both adults and larvae are radial. No, this statement is wrong. Statement 2 is wrong. Why it is wrong? Here in questions asking both. Here both statement is wrong. Why? Because only adult Echinodermata shows radial symmetry and larva Echinodermata shows bilateral symmetry. So it means that statement 2 is wrong. So here statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. Means the right answer is first one. Why? Because here statement 2 is incorrect. Okay, right. Then we move on another MCQs, 120 MCQs here. Okay, so match the following questions. This one. So in list 1, giving starch antibodies, concavalin and GLUT4, and here their role. And these questions which frame from the in biomolecules, generally it is framed from the protein. Okay, proteins are a protein and their function table. So these questions which came from table type of questions, the proteins and their functions. Okay, and also these questions came from secondary metabolites. They frame from the secondary metabolites. Okay, let's start the explanation of these questions. Here generally starch. So we know that starch is a major energy source. Yes, so starch is a, here I am writing, starch is a carbohydrate biomolecule in carbohydrate which is belongs to poly. Okay, right. And this starch which gives energy, which store energy storage function, it play important role. Now coming to that means A2, sorry, A2. Here antibodies, about antibodies. So these antibodies also called immunoglobulin. So the main role of this antibody is it fight against the infections, fight against infection, hence which protect our body from the pathogens. So it play important role in immune system. So here antibody fight infection means B is 1. Now here coming to concavalin. Here generally this, here I am writing concavalin A is a carbohydrate binding protein. Remember, concavalin A is a carbohydrate binding protein, specifically in lectins. So generally this concavalin which extracted from the jock bean, which is extracted from the jock bean. So here jock bean scientific name is Canavalia tensiformis, from which we can extract this concavalin A. And generally this concavalin which act as a natural insecticides, act as natural insecticides which kills insecticide. So see here, so concavalin is a carbon binding protein, especially lectins. So C is fourth one. And glut, here glut4 is nothing but glucose transport type 4 molecule, and which play important role here. It is a specialized insulin regulator protein. Glut4 is a insulin, here I am writing, it is a insulin regulator protein, and this glut4 helps to entry of glucose in fat cell and muscle cell, very important. So it regulates what insulin, so insulin regulating regulated protein, this one. And this glut4 helps to entry of glucose into fat cell and muscle cell. So when there is a excess glucose is there na, for example if excess glucose in blood, which leads to cause diabetes mellitus in blood sugar. If the excess glucose is there in blood na, so then this glut4 which play important role, which helps the entry of this excess glucose from blood into fat cell, either muscle cell. So this entry of glucose into fat and muscle cells play by these glut4 proteins. So that's it for 120. And here glut4 helps in glucose transport, means D is third one. So if you see second 2143 here, 2143 means fourth option. Here fourth answer is right. Okay, fourth one is right answer. So 120 is fourth answer is right. So next one 121, the number of vertebrae in human. Here, so these questions which frame from locomotion and movement in that human skeleton. Here important note, so they focus on vertebrae bones. So vertebrae or vertebral column bones is formed by, there are 26 vertebral column bones are there, and these 26 vertebral column bones are serially arranged. They are known to be as a so vertebral column bones are total 26. They are arranged in serially, hence they are said to be as a vertebrae. And these vertebrae bones are placed dorsal side only, dorsal. And these vertebrae bones also said to be as a backbone. Okay, so how these 26 bones are arranged like this. So in cervical region, cervical vertebrae we have 7, and then lumbar thoracic vertebrae 12, and lumbar vertebrae we have 5, and sacral vertebrae we have 1, and coaxial vertebral bone here also 1. So like 7 12 19 means here 24 25 26. So there are 26 vertebral columns bones are serially arranged and together form bones called so there are 26 vertebrae bones are there. Right answer. Now coming to 206, here 206 nothing but the total bone in human, adult human. So note here, total number of bones in adult human, how much? 206. Among 206, 26 are vertebrae columns bone. Okay, and there are 20. Okay, leave it, no need to discuss here. So right answer is 26. Yeah. So next 121, which pigment has absorption peak at 700 nanometer in the photosynthetic reaction center? So RC reaction center PS 17. So options are there: xanthophyll, carotenoids, chlorophyll B, and chlorophyll A. Let's discuss. And these questions which frame from in photosynthesis, they completely focus on photosynthetic photopigments. So here the number of photosynthetic pigments together form photosystem. They focus on photosystem. Let's discuss what exactly this photosystem and where it is present, and what all these things we discuss here about photosystem. Generally, we have two types of photosystem. First, photosystem 1 and photosystem 2. Every photosystems are made up of with every photosystem are made up of with two important components. So one is reaction center and another one is LHC. So remember, what is exactly photosystem are nothing but group of photosynthetic pigment. Group of photopigments. So group of photosynthetic pigments together form photosystem, and this photosystem generally present on thylakoid membrane only. This is present on thylakoid membrane. So each photosystem made up of two centers, two important components. One is reaction center and another one is LHC. Light harvesting complex are also called antenna. See, generally this reaction center formed by only single pigment. Important here. This reaction center which is formed by a single pigment. So here the single pigment is the only one, chlorophyll A pigment. Very important. Hence, this chlorophyll pigment is known to be as a universal pigment. Universal pigments. Universal pigment. Okay. And now coming to this LHC or antenna, generally we will discuss here how they are exactly made. LHC or light harvesting complex or antenna which is made up of with hundreds of pigments molecules. They are made up of with hundreds of pigmented molecules other than chlorophyll A. Means here the hundred of photosynthetic pigment molecules like maybe chlorophyll B or C, D or E or in carotenoid pigments. Again we have two types like carotene pigments and xanthophylls. So all these pigments together form a system called light harvesting complex. Okay, so here in this light harvesting complex, chlorophyll A is not present, and chlorophyll A only made this reaction center. Like that, every photosystems made up of with reaction center and light harvesting center. How means exactly? So here, for example, think it is a chlorophyll A pigment, and around which we have a number of pigments like this. They are arranged. Number of pigments, number of different pigments, and we will take another one. Yes, like see, take another pigments. Blue color, another pigment. Like that pigments. So this is what one photo system. In this photo system, the inside inner side here chlorophyll A is made reaction center, and the rest of the pigment from here to here. This whole there are hundreds of pigments are there now around chlorophyll A, and these hundreds of chlorophyll pigments together form L light harvesting complex, and this reaction center plus LSC light harvesting complex together form one photo. Okay, so like that these photo systems are present on the membrane of thyla. Okay, present on the membrane of thylakoid only they are present. So here let's see the options. So here one more important towards to the chlorophyll A, and this chlorophyll A has absorption peak. See, this only has absorption peak at 700 nanometer wavelength. It absorbs highest light. So it absorbs 700 nanometer light. Hence, this photos hence in photosystem 1 chlorophyll has absorption peak at 700 nanometer. Hence, this said to be as a P7. So this P700s are present in photosystem 1. Now coming to in photosystem 2, there also we have reaction center and light harvesting complex. This reaction center always made up of with chlorophyll A, and this chlorophyll A has absorption light at 680 nanometer. Very important. So chlorophyll A in photosystem 2, which has maximum absorption light at 600 nanometer. Hence PS in here in PS2 P680 can be used. So P680 we use in photosystem 2, and a P700 we use in photosystem 1. Why? Because this reaction center or chlorophyll A has the maximum light absorptions. Okay, right. So by this each and every concept here we need to apply here. So which pigment has absorption peak? Here asking which pigment has absorption peak at 700 nanometer in the photosynthetic reaction center RC in PS1. Asking about PS1. In PS1 means P700 nanometer, in which reaction center. So reaction center is always made up of with what? Chlorophyll A. So the right answer is chlorophyll A, fourth one. Okay, chlorophyll A only has the absorption, maximum absorption light. Okay, right. Okay, next 123rd, arrange the following taxonomy categories in ascending order. Here asking about ascending order. So these questions which frame from the first chapter, that is living world, the living world. Okay, just wait. Yeah. In living world from taxonomical hierarchy order. So here first of all we need to arrange all this taxonomical order in ascending order. So here ascending order means starting from lowest to highest. Generally to do this type of questions we need to know one simple formula like tricks like dk pc of gs. If you remember this one we can easily make this right statement. How means here we know that here I am writing d means domain has highest position in hierarchical taxonomy. So domain include what? Kingdom. Now these kingdoms, P means phylum. In animal we can use phylum. In plant we can use division. So in animal we can use phylum. In plant we can use division. Remember. And then this phylum, C means class, and then O means order, and here just wait. Yeah. So here order, and O means order, F means family, and G means genus, and S means species. So these are the level of hierarchical order. So first domain, second kingdom, third phylum or division, fourth class, fifth order, sixth family, seventh genus, eighth species. So these are the 8 level in hierarchical taxonomy. So here asking about ascending order. So remember ascending order means starting from lowest to highest. So here ascending order. So in ascending order means we need to arrange this phylum in from lowest to highest. Starting from lowest to highest. Here the lowest domain is species. Highest domain is domain. If domain is not there in option, then highest domain is highest order is kingdom only. Okay, so like that we need to add. So how means like this, first lowest we have species. So species, group of species together form genus, and group of genus together form family, and families together form order, group of orders together form class, group of class together form phylum or division, and this group of phylum or division together form kingdom. So here in which from lowest to highest, this type of order is called ascending order. So we have to choose in this format. If they are asking descending order means descending order means then we need to write this hierarchical order from highest to lowest. So highest to here kingdom, lowest is species. So hence species is the basic unit of classification. We will use the term. So here see first species, where we have species here. So G, so we have to choose G. Here we have, here these two places we have G. So we need to remove this, eliminate this one, and second and third one, sorry, no, second and fourth one we need to remove, eliminate. Why? Because here in lowest place occupy with the species G. So after G, then genus, where we have genus A, G, A. Yeah. So absolutely third one is the right answer. Yes. Why? Because see here C is what? Order, not. So order place after family. So that's why the right answer is only G, A, E, C, B, D, F. Okay. So by seeing this we will easily answer these questions. Okay. So here keywords, identify the keywords, either asking ascending order or descending order. If ascending order, then you need to write from lowest to highest position. In descending order you need to write from highest position to lowest one. Here I have mentioned this highest position to lowest position, but here this mentioned from lowest to highest. So here this lowest to highest is called ascending order, and highest to lowest is called descending order. So in this order only we have to arrange this hierarchical level of classification. Okay, right. So 123rd questions answer is third one. Okay, which one? Third is the right answer. Okay, then we move on another MCQs 124, which is also match the following questions we will do. Okay, 124 match the following questions. So here in list 1 giving hierarchical classification orders, and here list giving with respect to their family. And these questions which frame from same like living world only. In living world these questions which is completely frame from the mango classification. So these mango classifications are there in tables, in table format. in NCERT textbook in class 11th class. There in first chapter we have some tables. In tables only this mango classification is there. So directly these questions which frame from the table only. Okay, right. Organism with their taxonomical category, here they are provided. So first of all we need to know, we need to write in the sequence order. First we need to write what is the scientific name of mango. Here Mangifera indica. Okay, Mangifera indica. In Mangifera indica, here Mangifera is what? Genus, and here indica is species. Okay, and here first we need to write species in ascending order. Species, then genus, then we need to write family. So then order, then class, then phylum or division, and then last kingdoms. So we need to arrange this taxonomical category in descending order, so then it is somewhat easy. So we know that mango's genus is Mangifera. So first see the genus here, Mangifera, where we have here. So B4, B here 4. Okay, so just wait. Yeah, okay, done. So here B4. So in the choose the correct answer. B, here B 3 5 5 1. Sorry, here B must be 5. Sorry, 5. So here B5. So here we have its second option and third option. In these two places we have 5. So we have to remove this 1 and 4. We need to eliminate these two MCQs. So we have only 2. Okay, right. So here genus is Mangifera. So after genus we need to write family. So mango family here. So mango family here Anacardiaceae. So remember how to identify family means. So every family which end with a suffix, so that is ACEAE, very important. If a family end with a suffix that is A, then it's said to be as a family. It indicates the family, very important. And one more important thing here, if a organism which end with A or the organism with suffix ALES, then it to be order. It is order. Always in any family or any order which end with ALES, then it must be order. If they end with ACEAE, then it must be family. So likewise remember these two very important note here. So for example here see A saphinoidelis. See ALES. So what is it? ALES is nothing but order. So here order 1. So E1. So here choose E1. Yeah, E1 here we have E1. So here we don't have E5. So here E3. So we remove this. So the answer is second only. Okay, by say 1 to among 5 options are there na here in list 1. If you know any 2, then we can easily answer. If you know the genus, then we already eliminate 2 important questions here, options here. And if you know one more any here, then we can also remove one more. So finally we have only one, that is our answer. So if you know the order end with ALES, then it will be order. If it is end with ACEAC, then it is become family. For example here we see AAC, Anacardiaceae. So it is what? Family. So here see where we have family here, A third one, A third. See here A third, where we have A third, see this one. So like that also we can use some elimination method to do this answer. So like that. And here A3, here D5, and here C class 2. So class always dicotyledon plants. And D4 here phylum angiosperm plant only, and E1. So right answer is second one. So like that we can use some suffix and in families and orders, so we can make answer very easy. Okay, right. So then we move on another MCQs here. Yeah, just wait. Okay, done. So here sorry, yeah, 125 questions, fifth questions here. See 125 questions. Okay, done. So arrange the following element in descending order. Say descending order means from we need to arrange them highest to lowest in their contribution of percentage weight of human body. So generally choose the correct answer here. So here the human body contains some mineral elements or some gas elements in their percentage here. So first we need to know oxygen. So generally these questions which came from biomolecules only, from biomolecules. And here the oxygen has highest contribution in human body. So how much means 65.5% oxygens are there in human body. So after oxygen, then it follow carbon. So the carbon percentage in human body approximately 18.5%. How much? 18.5%. And then it follow nitrogen. How much means 3.3%. Then follow the hydrogen has very little bit, so the 0.5%. So the highest molecules are which is present in human body, that is oxygen. How much means 65.5%. So we have to arrange these molecules in descending order. So here oxygen is greater than carbon, is greater than nitrogen, is greater than hydrogen. So in this order we have to arrange. So here, so first oxygen A, here A, and after oxygen carbon. So where we have carbon B here, then nitrogen, third option nitrogen means D, here D, sorry, here D must be present. So highest to lowest, no? Yes, nitrogen, here nitrogen must be present. ABD here, AB, B, AB, okay. So let's see AB. So at last hydrogen it lost C, so where it doesn't have, okay. So fine. So I think nitrogen in the human body, maybe the nitrogen is 0.5 or hydrogen is 3.5. So once we check this answer, so remember oxygen is greater than carbon dioxide, or carbon is greater than hydrogen and nitrogen. If you have this answer, we can choose it, okay. So remember always oxygen is highest molecule in human body, and then carbon only. So if you choose these two, so we can make some answer become correct. So here oxygen 1 and carbon B. So then hydrogen here C and D, A, B, C, D. So right answer is third one. Okay. So next 126th questions here. Match the following questions. Here list one given a Triste and cistern thylakoids phospholipids. So here these questions which is from the cell structures, and in that organelles, cell structure. Yeah. So here the cistern is a cistern first. Cistern is a part of infolding of inner mitochondrial membrane, and this like, so it is mitochondria, outer mitochondrial membrane, and the inner mitochondrial membrane get some infolded like structure like this. Yes. So this infolded structures is called cristae. So this cristae form from the inner mitochondrial membrane. This cristae present towards this matrix, here matrix in mitochondria, and this cristae present due to which helps in increase surface area. So cristae here flat membrane sac in stroma of chloroplast, no infolding in mitochondria. Say A2. Now about cistern, sorry, so cistern actually it is a disc shaped flat structures, disc shaped flat parallel sac like structures, so which is present in Golgi bodies. So here the cistern size 0.5 micrometer to 1.0 micrometer in size diameter. So where this present means here in the cell we have like these structures, yes, like these structures, and this structure is called cistern, and they are disc shaped flat parallel structures, cistern in Golgi bodies. So in Golgi bodies cistern we have two phases. One is cis phase towards nucleus and trans phase towards plasma membrane. We discuss in detail video lecture on this Golgi bodies, so please once watch these videos in my channel. So here cistern is a disc shaped flat parallel structure present in Golgi bodies. So here disc shaped sac in Golgi apparatus. So B is fourth. Now coming to thylakoid. So here thylakoid, we know that thylakoids are the unit of grana. The group of thylakoids together form grana, and these thylakoids like which is present like flat membrane sac. They are flat membranous sac-like structure which is present in stroma of thylakoid. How means, for example, here I am explaining. It is a double membrane bound cell organelle, that is chloro here. So in which we have flat disc shaped flat membrane sac-like structure called thylakoids. So this is what thyla. So this thylakoid present in the stroma. So empty region or lumen of the chloroplast is called stroma, and the empty space which is present in the mitochondria is called matrix. So in stroma we have only this flat membrane sac-like structures called thylakoids, and each thylakoids here group of thylakoids like this, here group of thylakoids together form grana. The grana is the site for light reaction. So here only light reaction will taking place. And each thylakoid, for example, each thylakoid which made up with two important structures. One is thylakoid membrane, and the empty space in thylakoid is called lumen. Okay, so we already made a video on this in detail explanation on this chloroplast. So once you watch this lecture in my YouTube channel. So here thylakoids. So thylakoid membrane, we discussed this thylakoid membrane contain group of photosynthetic pigments in the form of photosystem. So here we have photosystem 1 and photosystem 2. So likewise we discussed so many things regarding to this chloroplast. So in here this thylakoid what, flat membrane sacs in stroma of chloroplast. So C is 1. And now coming to phospholipids. So here generally phospholipids, so it is a major component, structural component in plasma membrane. So generally plasma membranes made up with these phospholipid structures, and this phospholipids is a bilayer structure. How means like this here. So this is bilayer phospholipids like this. So here and like this. So this double membrane, and here lipid, this lipid which is arranged in two layers, and these lipids are made up with phospholipids. Okay, so phospholipids are generally seen in, and it is a major and it is a structural component in plasma membrane, are also called cell membrane. So D is third. So here 2 4 1 3, where we have 2 4 1 3. So the right answer is fourth one. Yes. Next 127th questions. Here the number of action potential AP generated by sinoatrial node SAN in a healthy human is per minute. So here these questions which frame from body fluid and circulation, body fluids and circulation. So in which mainly focus on heart rate or nodal tissues in this chapter, heart. Once we analyze this statement in detail here. So generally in heart, for example here, yeah, simple rough diagram only here I am drawing. So yeah, so the anatomy of heart. So we know that the two upper chamber is called atrium, two lower chamber is called ventricles, and this side right side of the heart, this one left side of the heart. Here right atrium and the right ventricles, left atrium, left ventricles. So generally in heart there are four nodal tissues are present, very important nodal tissues. This nodal tissue play important role to generate action potential, means to conduct the potentials. So there these four nodal tissues are, first one SAN, sinoatrial node, and then AVN, atrioventricular node, and the third one is bundle of His. And from bundle of His there is some fiber structure which is arise, that is called Purkinje fiber. Purkinje fibers. So like that we have four different types of nodal tissues present in the heart. So generally SAN which is present at the right corner of the right atrium. For example here I am showing here. So this SAN present at the here, SAN, sinoatrial node present at the right corner of the right atrium, and the location of AVN here, left side in right atrium. So here left side of the right atrium only here, and bundle of is exactly present in between intraventricular nodes or septum. So generally intraventricular septum which divide the heart into upper chamber and lower chamber, like this two upper chamber and these two lower chamber divided by this septum called atrioventricular septum. Here only we have seen one more nodal tissues, so that is bundle of His here. And from here there are some Purkinje fibers which arise like this. So Purkinje fibers. So likewise we have various places, and in which in questions they are asking only about SAN. So what generally SAN can generate the maximum number of action potential. Here note. So here this SAN, here I am writing SAN, sinoatrial node can generate maximum number of action potential. How much means around 70 to 75 minutes. So because which is responsible for initiating and maintaining the rhythmic activity of the heart, means the contraction of heart will start from only this SAN. So SAN will initiate this contraction of atrium here only, and then it can generate the action potential around 70 to 70. Hence SAN only play important role to generate action potential for contraction of atrium. Hence this SAN is also known as phase. So here right answer is It generate action potential maximum around 70 to 75. Okay, next 128 here. Symbiotic association between fungi and algae are called. So these questions which frame from biological classification. Biological classifications. In biological classification, they focus on lichens. They focus on lichens. So what exactly lichens here? Lichens are symbiotic. Lichens are symbiotic or mutually symbiotic or mutual association between algae and fungi. So lichens are symbiotically or mutually association between algae and fungi are called lichens. So in which the algal component is called phycobiont and the fungal component is called myco. Now these algae are autotrophic in nature, hence they prepare their own food by photo and the prepared food which provide to the fungi. So algae provide food to the fungi. Now coming to mycobiont or fungi, they are heterotrophs in nature, means they won't prepare their own food. They depends on the algae for food. So they depends on algae for food. Okay. So and these fungi in terms provide shelter and water and mineral nutrients to the algae. So here there is a mutual association and means in both algae and fungi get benefited from each other. How means algae prepare their own food by photosynthesis and prepared food gives to the fungi. But fungi are heterotrophs in nature, hence they won't prepare their own food and it receives food from the algae. And in terms, fungi provide shelter to the algae and also fungi provide water and mineral nutrition to the algae. So likewise, there is a mutual beneficial from between two organisms like algae and fungi is called lichens. Okay, so in a statement here the right answer is lichens. In statement mycorrhiza also given. So what exactly mean of mycorrhiza? So mycorrhiza is also symbiotic association. It is also a symbiotic association between fungi and very important roots of the higher plant. Roots of the higher plants. Why this symbiotic association? How this symbiotic association between fungi and roots of higher plant means, as usual, these fungi provide mineral nutrition to the roots of higher plants. In turn, these higher plants provide nutritious food to the fungi. So plant provide food to the fungi, provide mineral nutrition to the plants. So likewise, each organism get benefited from each other. Such type of association between fungi and roots of higher plants are known as a mycorrhiza associations. Okay, and here coming chrysophytes. So generally chrysophyte is a class or group which is belongs to protista. In protista there is one group is there like chrysophytes. These chrysophytes include what? Diatoms and desmids, golden algae. And not only this chrysophytes, in protista there are several groups are there like dino and also euglenites and also slime modes and also protozoans. So like chrysophytes here, chrysophytes, dinoflagellates, euglenites, slime modes and protozoan. All these are the various groups or classes in kingdom called protista. Kingdom protista. Okay. So this is chrysophyte. We know that spongy is a special type of organism which belongs to phylum Porifera in animal kingdom. Porifera. So here symbiotic association between fungi and algae means the right answer is lichens. So next 129 questions. How many molecules of pyruvic acid are produced at the end of glycolysis from 206 molecules of glucose? These questions which frame from respiration in higher plant, respiration in higher plants, respiration in plant or higher simply higher plants. So these questions which frame from the respiration topic means plant physiology. In respiration, that is in glycolysis, these questions which frame. So read these questions carefully. So what is asking, how many molecules of pyruvic acids are produced? So we know that, so glycolysis, so the end of the glycolysis outcomes is from one molecule of glucose which gives rise to two molecule of pyruvic acids. So one molecule of glucose contains 6 carbon, two molecule of pyruvic acid contain here 3 carbon compound pyruvic acid, 6 carbon compound glucose. One molecule of glucose converted into 2 molecule of pyruvic acid. General outcomes of the glycolysis. Yes, so here read this question. How many molecules pyruvic acids are produced? Here we have to find out number of pyruvic acids are produced. Here we have to find out by the end of the glycolysis from 206 molecule of glucose. So here in questions, from 206 molecules of glucose, how many pyruvic acid get produced? So it is very simple. Here how to do means, one molecule of glucose gives rise to two molecule of pyruvic acid. Yes, so in questions are already given. So there are 206 molecules of glucose, then how many pyruvic acids? Simply we do cross multiplication. So here how means 206 into 2 by 1. So here if we cross like this, then 2 6 12, and here 1 and 4. So 412 molecules of pyruvic acid is required to produce 206 molecule of glucose. Okay, so like that. So here answer is 412. So right answer is 412. Okay, so that's it. So 206 bones, 206 bones here. Next 130 questions. So which of the following represent the correct sequence of arrangement of bones in the lower limb of human? So these questions will frame from the topic locomotion and movement. So in which skeletal system? So here giving few options. So here we need to identify lower limb of human. So let's start some explanation on skeletal system. The human skeletal systems are generally made up of axial skeletal system and appendicular skeletal system. So generally in human body, the adult human has 206 bones. So among 206 bones, axial skeleton consists of 80 bones and appendicular skeletons consist of 126 bones. So these 80 bones are arranged like in which contain skull bone. So there are 29 skull bones are there. They include facial bones and cranial bones, and also they contain vertebral columns bones. There are 26, and they also contain ribs bones. There are 24. 12 pairs means 24 bones, and very important, that is chest bone or sternum bone. Sternum bones. So here we have only one sternum bones. So all these skull bone, vertebral column bones, ribs bones, and sternum bones together form axial skeletal system. Total 80 bones here we have. Now coming to here, appendicular skeletal system, which is generally made up of with two important structures, only bones. They are called limbs bones and girdle bones. Girdles. So there are out of 126 bones, limbs bones are only 120 bones are limbs bones only, but only 6 bones are girdle bones. First we'll discuss how girdle bones are arranged. So these girdle bones again divided into two parts. So at upper region we have pectoral girdle, shoulder bones we generally use pectoral girdle. So in pectoral girdle we have 4 bones, and here at below we have pelvic girdle. Lower side we have pelvic girdle. Here we have 2 bones like pelvic girdle and pectoral girdle. Together form 6 bones. They are called girdle bones. And coming to limbs, there are 120 limbs bones are there, and generally we have two kind of limbs: upper limb means hands, upper limbs, and lower limbs like legs. Upper limbs and lower limbs. So remember, both upper limbs consist of 60 bones, both lower limb consist of 60 bones. So like 120 bones are there. See once here in our questions they are asking lower limbs only, means legs. Here lower limbs 60 bones. Each both here both limbs consist of 60. For each limbs, each lower limb consists of 30. Not only lower, upper also, each limbs consist of 30. So how these 30 limbs bones get arrangements we will discuss here. So in which first, and it is the spot, longest and strongest bone in human body, that is femur bone. So I will explain with important here. I will explain with some diagram like, so think here. So single bone here we have, this is what single bone, femur bone, and also called thigh bone. Okay, and below femur there we have like this 2 bones. Here 2 bones. So one bone become tibia. So yeah, first below here femur, one bone is tibia and fibula, and here between femur and tibia fibula bones here So in between here we have one single bones here, like here we have a cap like bones. So single bone here we have. This bone is called patella bone, or also we can use knee cap bone. Here knee cap bone is only one, and here two, tibia and fibula. And below, after tibia and fibula, then we have seven bones. They are ankle bones. So this tibia and fibula bones together called shin bone. And here there are in these bones are arranged. Ankle bones are arranged in two rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. So here there are seven bones are present, and these seven bones are called as tarsal bones. Tarsal, and these tarsal bones also called as ankle bones. So likewise, we have seven tarsal or ankle bone. So from tarsal bones there are five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and here five bones are arranged. These are called metatarsal bones. Metatarsal bones. And there are 14 phalanges bones, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So these 14 bones are called phalanges bones. So likewise, we have total arrangement of lower limbs bones. So here one femur bone, here one patella bone, two, like one tibia and one fibia. Here seven tarsal bones and five metatarsal bones and 14 phalanges bones. If you count this, so there are 30 bones are arranged in this lower limb. So here we have to identify what exactly arrangement of lower limb. So here first femur bone. So where we have femur, just we have to identify femur here, till, and this will, so we can eliminate. After femur we have patella bone. So patella, so not tarsal, not tibia. So also we can remove these two options. So patella bone. After patella, here first femur, patella. After patella, then we have tibia, and after tibia we have tarsals, like this. So the right answer is first one. So next one, 131 genus represent. So these questions which frame from the living word, which is mainly focus on hierarchical categories. So in previous video lecture we discussed these hierarchical categories start from generally domain, or sometimes it start from kingdom and end with species. So in between here we have different categories. So for this we can remember this as one formula, like dk pc of gs of pc police constable, like that. Dk Dinesh Karthik, like. So here in which d means domain, k means kingdom. Yes, P after kingdom, then we have phylum, are also called division. So we use division term in plant, we use phylum term in animals. So then this division follow. Yes, phylum, and then C means class. Here O means order. In last class only we discussed how to we remember order end with ALES, and then F means family, and family we can remember by which is end with a suffix called ACEAE, family, and then genus. Like that we have different categories in hierarchy. So here what exactly genus? Here genus. So genus where we have this here. So what exactly mean of genus? So genus, a group of closely related species. So here, so generally what is species is a basic unit of classification. So here species are a group of individual organisms. Species here nothing but a group of individual organisms. I am writing here a group of closely related individual organisms together form species. Group of individual organisms together form species. But what is genus? So genus are form a group of closely related species. A group of here group of closely related species together form genus. And about genus we have family. So what is family? So families are also a group of closely related genus. A group of closely related genus together form family. A group of closely related species together form genus. A group of individual organisms, and they can only interbreed among them. Such organisms are called species. If you can write order, then how can we write? Simple order. Here we will go from species to genus to family to order, like that. So we can easily write. So order means a group of closely related what? Closely related families. A group of closely related families together form order. For example, if you want to write class, so what exactly class? So class where we have, and class include what? Order. So that's why we can easily write like this. So group of closely related orders together form class. Like that we can easily write. So here asking about genus. So what is genus? Represent a group of closely related species. So right answer is first one. For example, if you look at this second option, group of closely related families. A closely related families. So closely related families here. So closely group of closely related families together called order. So here order. A individual plant or animal. Individual organisms said to be as a species. A population of plants and animals. Okay, right. So here also like species. Population of plants and animals to said to be as a species, or individual plants or animals also we can use the term species. But here group of closely related species together form genus. Group of closely related families are order. So here in this context, the right answer for 131 is first one, group of closely related species together called genus. So here one more, 132, the correct sequence. Here asking correct sequence of adult cell cycle phases. So these questions which frame from cell cycle and cell division. In that phases sequence, asking about cell cycle phases sequence in adult human. So generally cell cycle occur in two phases. One is I phase. First phase is I phase, means inter. So in this phase only preparation will occur, hence also called preparatory phase or non-dividing phase. It is a non-dividing phase in which cells do not undergoes any division, hence non-division phase. And after completion of this I phase, then it enter into M phase, or also called mitotic phase. So in mitotic phase, it is the actual division phase in which actual division of cell will occur. Actual division of cell will occur in this M phase. And here I phase again divided into three sub. First it enter into G1 phase, then it enter into S phase, then it enter into G2 phase. So in mitotic phase or M phase, generally first division of cell, that is nucleus division, will occur. So the nucleus division is called karyo, and this karyokinesis after completion of nucleus division, then it follow the cytoplasm division occur. So cytoplasm division is called cyto. So here karyokinesis follow the cytokinesis. By the end of the cytokinesis, so complete cell division process will completed. So in karyokinesis also there are four phases are there. Here I am writing. In karyokinesis means nucleus division, again there are four phases are there sequence. So first phase in karyokinesis, that is prophase, and after prophase it follow the metaphase, then metaphase follow the anaphase, and then anaphase follow the last telo. So like that we have different phases in cell cycle. So once we analyze these options, so here G1 follow the S follow the G2 and M. We will analyze another sum here. See, so no, here must and should first follow the G1, then S and G2, and then M phase. Like this will happen. Okay, so we have seen this order here only, first option. So G1 phase follow the S, and then S follow the G2, then G2 enter into M phase. Again in M phase, first it enter into karyokinesis, then it enter into cytokinesis. Even in karyokinesis, first phase is prophase, then metaphase, anaphase, telophase. Then this telophase then follow the cytokinesis. End of the telophase, which mark the entry of cytoplasm division, that is cytokinesis. So the right answer for 132 is first one. Here endomembrane system include what? Here endomembrane system means these questions frame from cell, the unit of life. They frame from cell organelles. Yes. So in questions asking, so endomembrane system include what? So generally here first of all we need to know endomembrane system. What endo system? So generally there are four important organelles in cell, and their structures here, their structures and their functions are closely coordinated. So there are some cell organelles in cell, their structure and their functionally are closely coordinated to each other, and they perform their functions and their role. Such close related organelles together form endomembrane systems. And these endomembrane system include organelles are, in which first very important organelles, that is endoplasmic reticulum. And then this endoplasmic reticulum perform its duty or its function, then it transferred to the another and it coordinate its functions to the another cell organelles like Golgi bodies or Golgi apparatus. And from Golgi bodies, its functions carry forward to the next cell organelle, that is lyso, and from the lysosomes and its structure coordinated to another cell organelle, that is vacuoles. So likewise, like endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi bodies, lysosomes, and vacuoles, all these four cell organelles structurally and functionally closely coordinate to each other to function their important role. They perform their important role to the cells. Hence, these four cell organelles together called endosystem. Very important. Okay, endomembrane systems. So here we have to identify. So first endoplasmic reticulum, and then here chloroplast is there? No. Peroxisome is not there. So this is wrong answer. So third one, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, lysosome vacuoles. Yes. So third one is the right answer for this 130. Here, sometime the examiner will confuse the word endomembrane system and endosymbiotic theory. So here once we discuss what exactly endosymbiotic theory. So this word refers endomembrane system, but sometimes they will confuse with endosymbiotic theory. How they confuse means we will discuss. Yeah. Here note endo theory. So here endosymbiotic theory means that the organisms in eukaryotic perform same role and same structure as it is present in prokaryotic cells. As it is present in prokaryotic cells. Here, for example, this endosymbiotic theory performed cell organelles in eukaryotic cells. They are chloroplast and mitochondria. These two cell organelles they comes under endosymbiotic theory. Why? And these two cell organelles they perform say like functions. They perform their functions like prokaryotic cell. How means here generally this chloroplast and mitochondria, and here both are double membrane bound cell organelles. Here both are double membrane bound cell organelles, and you know these two cell organelles together called semi cell organelles because of they perform their and they produce and they perform their own process to produce their protein. So they prepare their own protein because of they contain their own DNS and RNS and ribosomes. So due to presence of this all these things, they prepare their own protein in chloroplast as well as in mitochondria. So why we use this endosymbiotic theory means generally some prokaryotic structures like bacteria. So bacteria, some prokaryotic organism like bacteria, they also have all these characters which is present in these two cell organelles like chloroplast and mitochondria. So here the thing is, so what are the structures which is present in the prokaryotic organism bacteria? Same as the structures also seen in some eukaryotic cell organelles. Means the scientists are saying they conclude that so this evolve the structures which is present in prokaryotic into some cell organelles like chloroplast and mitochondria, and this theory is said to be as a endosymbiotic theory. So here for example the bacteria, we know that bacteria contain what? Single and a circular double stranded DNA. So same structure also there in chloroplast and mitochondria. And you know this bacteria also contain 70s type of ribosome, and these 70s type of ribosomes also present in this chloroplast and mitochondria. And this bacteria contain RNA. So here also this cell organelle contain RNA. And do you know this bacteria perform reproduction, vegetative reproduction by binary fission. So here these two cell organelles like chloroplast and mitochondria also perform binary fission for division. It see each and every characters which is present in bacteria is also present in these two cell organelles. So that evolution which occur from this bacteria or prokaryotic to this cell organelles, such evolutions was said to be as a theory. That theory will form as a endosymbiotic theory. Remember. So here confusion, some little bit confusion which made between endosymbiotic theory and endomembrane system. So endomembrane system include the four cell organelles which structurally and functionally closely related to each other. Such cell organelles are only endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi bodies, lysosomes, and vacuole. But these chloroplast and mitochondria are said to be as a endosymbiotic organisms, and they are also said to be as a semi-autonomous cell organelles because of they contain all these important structure to prepare their own materials or proteins. Okay, right. Then we move on another MCQs, that is 134. Yeah. So next 134 here about photorespiration C2 cycle catalyzed by Rubisco, we know that is shown below. So here question is RUBP plus oxygen. So RUBP has 5 carbon compound. So if RUBP bind with oxygen means here Rubisco enzyme act as oxygenase activity. When Rubisco act as oxygenase activity, we discussed when there is a high oxygen, low carbon dioxide condition. Low carbon dioxide. So this concentration which favor the Rubisco to act as oxygenase, then only this oxygen bind to the RUBP 5 carbon compound, then it result to formation of two important components. One is one molecule of 3 carbon compound called PGA, phosphoglyceric acid or phosphoglycerate, and one molecule of 2PG, a 2PG phosphoglycolate. So PG has 2 carbon compound, PGA has 3 carbon compound. Like that 3 plus 2 5 carbon compound RUBP will form. So by in presence of Rubisco or act as oxygenase enzymes. Okay, right. So here RUBP plus oxygen form 3 phosphoglycerate. See this 3 PGA. 3 phosphoglycerate means 3, and here X what? Identify the X. So one more molecule is 2 PG. So here we have to identify not oxaloacetate, not malate, and here pas no. So P pep is also not there, and 2 phosphoglycolates. So right answer is 4th. Generally see this oxaloacetate will form in C4 cycle, first to stable product. So malate also there we see in a C4 cycle, and phosphoenol pyruvate generally which is seen in glycolysis. Okay, so here the right answer is 2 phosphoglycolate. 2 phosphoglycolate here form. X is 2 phosphoglycolate here. One molecule of 2 phosphoglycolate. This contain 2 carbon compound only. Okay, next one. Which of the following are the characteristic feature of Solanaceae family? If you are asking about Solanaceae family. So this question which is from morphology of flora and plant, and especially from taxonomy questions. So do you know who is the father of taxonomy? Carolus Linnaeus is considered as a father of taxonomy. Okay, right. We'll discuss. Here taxonomy generally in NCERT focus 3 important families like Fabaceae, Solanaceae and Liliaceae. So here Fabaceae and Solanaceae both are belongs to dicotyledon class. Liliaceae belongs to monocotyledon class. Fine. So here asking about Solanaceae features. So here first we analyze these questions. So flowers are bisexual and actinomorphic. Calyx have 5 sepals are united. Androecium have 5 stamens and epipetalous. Ovary is inferior. So before we analyze this, first we need to know floral formula of Solanaceae. So then only we can easily identify all these characters which is suitable to the Solanaceae family. So here floral formula for Solanaceae. Here I am writing here. Yes. So here plus means which indicate actinomorphic flower, and K5 here sepals are 5. They are united, and C corolla means group of petals. They also 5. They also united, and this andrecium means the group of stamens. There are 5 stamens, and these stamens which attach to the petals. So this condition is called epi. So in epipetalous condition, the epipetalous condition is a characteristic feature of Solanaceae family, and in which stamens attach to the petals. And here G gynoecium, here we have 2 bicarpellary and superior ovary. So these are the some importance, and by the and it has bisexual means like this, male and female. So these are the some floral formula of Solanaceae. So by this we can easily identify which statement is correct or which statement is wrong. So yeah, so we know that flowers are bisexual and actinomorphic. Yes, this one right statement. And calyx have 5 sepals are united. Here see, calyx are nothing but group of sepals. Calyx are nothing but, here I am writing, group of sepals. Group of, here I am, group of sepals are known to be as a calyx, and which this calyx indicate by K. So here 5, and these 5 are united. Okay, united. So united calyx are called gamo. So this united calyx, here I am writing. So here united. So calyx have 5 sepals. Yes, and they are united. So united sepals always united means gamo. If they are free, poly. Okay, polygamocephalous. They are gamocephalous means these are, second statement is also right. Andrecium have 5 stamens. So what is andrecium? Group of 5. A group of stamens together form andrecium. How many of them? There are 5. And they are epipetalous. Yes, the stamens attached to the petals. Epipetalous condition is there. Means statement 3 also right. 1 and 2 and 3 statement are right. Once we check the gynoecium. So here gynoecium has 2 carpels, means bicarpellary. 2 carpels are there. But here the ovary is inferior. In questions asking about over is inferior, no, over is superior. So here this statement is make the this question become wrong. So generally in solanacy the over become superior. So wrong answer is D. Here choose the correct answer from the option given below. So we know that this A, B, C are right, but D is wrong. So we can use some elimination method. How we use means where we have D, so simply we can eliminate D. Here we don't have D. Here we have eliminate, and A, B, C we don't have D, eliminate. Okay. So if we remove these two questions by elimination method, then we have to choose only either from 1 or 3. Okay. So we know that A, B, C 3 statements are right, then your answer must be C. A, B, C is only the correct answer for the characteristic feature of this Solanaceae family. So next 136, sperm motility is due to. So this questions which is framed from human reproduction. In human reproduction, male reproductive system, it focus on sperm. So do you know the sperm is a male gamete, and this male gamete consists of 4 different important parts like this. For example, consider sperm, it is a sperm, and these are head part of this sperm, and here we have neck part, and this part is, here we have middle part, and then it is what, tail. Head to here, head to neck to middle and tail parts, like that we have 4 parts. And here, so this head part is surrounded by a membrane called acrosomes. Here I am writing acrosome. So this is the structure of sperm. And here sperm motility, we know that sperm must and should motile. So why means this sperm continuous lashing movement of this tail. So here I'm writing continuous lashing movement of the tail is the best example for which of the following movement means flagellar movement. So tail shows flagellar movement. So with the help of tail only, the sperm which move towards the egg means through the fallopian tube. So this tail shows flagellar movement. Why? Because this tail shows always continuous lashing movement. So like that, this motility need the sperm to reach to the fallopian tube, so where the egg is present to fertilization. So this flagellar movement is the right answer for sperm motility. So without lashing movement of tail, so the sperm can't move forward. Yes. So due to presence of this tail shows lashing movement continuously, then it shows flagellar movement. With the help of this flagellar movement, the sperms move forward to swim towards the fallopian tubes where there is a egg is present. So with that egg, the sperms will get fertilized. Yes. Okay. Here 137. Given below are two statement type of questions. One is label assertion A, and another one is reason. Assertion, reason type of questions here. So read once. Assertion: the bighorn tortoise in Galapagos Island become extinct within a decade after goats were introduced. And read reasons: goats were more efficient at browsing than a bighorn tortoise. So here we need to choose most appropriate answer from the option given below. So there are 4 options are there. You know that A is correct, but R is not, like that. We have 4 assertion reason type of options here. And here we have to analyze this statement 1 and statement 2. What this bighorn and goat, how were there, and why bighorn tortoise get extinct from this Galapagos Islands, we will discuss right now. So generally these questions which frame from the organism and population topic. Here I am writing organism and population. So in organism population, which is exclusively framed from competitive exclusion rule. There is a competitive exclusion rules. So here this competitive exclusion rules was proposed, generally focus on Gauss competitive exclusion principle. Gauss exclusion principles. So here Gauss competitive exclusion principle mainly which explain what here when two different, this Gauss competitive exclusion principle explained, here I am writing this principle which explain what, when two different species, here I am writing clearly, when two different species, here a bighorn tortoise and goat, both are different species. When two different species compete for the exact same resource, so both two different species competition for exact same resource, like they may be compete with water and their grass, food, or anything. So for example, in a particular geographical area, like here explaining in which area, Galapagos Islands. In Galapagos Island, there is a presence of grass, for example, and we have only grass at that particular area, and for this resource grass, both species are competition. Like here, a big don tortoise, and here goat. But here goat has more browsing capacity than tortoise. So hence, after a decade, this tortoise completely extinct from this Galapagos Islands. So this principle was explained by the Gauss, hence it is called Gauss competitive exploration principle. So here see, here this explain two different species compete for the exact same resource, water and food, anything. So one species get extinct. So ultimately, what happened when two different species compete for same resource? So among two species, one species get extinct, or there may be exclusions. Exclusion means they may be migrate to another place where the same resources are available. Okay, there may be one species get extinct completely, or there may be exclusion, means they are migrating to the, they are forcefully they are migrated to the another place for having same resource in their area. Okay, so if like that, one complete species get extinct. Here in questions, the extinct species is always tortoise. A big don tortoise get completely extinct due to goat. When goat is introduced into this Galapagos Island, goat has more grazing capacity. Here efficient, goat were more efficient at browsing than abigdon tortoise. So both statements are right. Okay, statement A assertion and reason both are right. So here answer both A and R are correct. R is reasons are, R is the correct explanation for A. So why abigdon tortoise get extinct from this Galapagos Island means due to introduce or invagination or introduction of goats, and due to introduction of goats, the goats have more efficient browsing capacity than the tortoise. So hence the tortoise after one within decade they completely extinct, or they may not, they may be migrated or exclusion from the any other area. So same resource where they're available. So this is all about the 137th questions. So the right answer is third one. Both A and R are correct. R is the correct explanation for A. So next one, 131, match the following questions. So match the type of questions, list 1 and list 2. Here list 1 giving both species are home, like that. In species 2 giving some organism. So these questions which also frame from the population interaction. In ecology or organism and population topic in ecology, frame from population interaction. Okay, right. So once we read these questions, so here giving various population interaction, or in as NCERT explained different types of population. So no one species get isolated in this world. Yes, so every species are has to be interact to each other. That interaction is called population interaction. So species get various different types of interaction. In that most important interaction, so that is mutualism. So in mutualism interaction, both species get benefited. Okay, here in mutualism what happened, both species get benefited from each other, benefited from each other. For example, here we discussed in earlier class lichens. In lichens formed by it is association between fungus and algae. So in which fungi and algae both get beneficial to each other. Such type of relationships is called mutualism. Such type of interaction between these two fungi and algae organisms are said to be as a mutualism, are called lichens. So in mutualism what happened, plus and plus means both species get benefited to each other. Yeah, next. So here one more important, here mutualism means here. So here we need to identify once both species are benefited, means C is second. Here I am writing C is second. Okay, fine. And then we will take another important, that is commensalism. If you take this commensalism, here I am writing commensalism. So commensalism we can simply indicate here one species get benefited, another species are here unaffected species, and this one species get benefited. Okay, so here we need to choose one is benefited and while the other has no effect. So this type of relationship is called commensalism. So here D1 is fourth one. Now coming to competition. Here just now we discussed competition exclusion rule, and here competition. So here in competition, minus and minus means both species are, so both species are harmed. Such type of interaction is called competitions. So in which competition the species has fittest things, they can only survive. The unfit species get completely extinct from that region. Okay, so competition as minus means both species are harmed. So here we need to match this, both species are harmed, that is called competition. Here we need to add third one. So again we have predation, and in predation what happened, one species get benefited, another species get harmed. Okay, and even parasitism also, one species get benefited, one species get harmed. So likewise we have different types of population interactions. So here predation, in which one species is harmed and another one is benefited. So one species benefited, another species harmed, in both predation as well as in parasitism. So here B is 1. So with this answer we can simply analyze here. Yeah, so the right answer here 3, first 3, here 3, we have 3, so we can eliminate this 2. And B is 1, where we have B here, so 1, and C is 2, here C2, and D is 4. So right answer is second one. Okay, so next 139th questions. So which of the following structure is not? Here not a part of the male reproductive system. Okay, right, first we'll discuss these questions which is from human physiology, especially in reproductive system. So in reproductive system which focus on male reproductive system, generally the male reproductive system has two important, we can divide this male reproductive system into two categories, like it has primary sex organ and accessory sex organ. So every male reproductive system classified into primary sex organ and accessory sex organ. The primary sex organ in male is always testis, one pair of testis, and these testis play important role in production of gametes called sperm gamete, and as well as a very important hormone, that is testosterone hormone. So hence, due to production of sperm and testosterone hormone, the testis is said to be as a primary sex organ. Now coming to accessory sex organ, in which we have again divided into two parts, like accessory ducts, and also we have accessory glands, ducts and accessory glands. So generally this accessory gland we start from, like inside the testis, where we have various ducts and they are sequentially present, like rete, testis, and then it follow the vasa efferentia duct, and then it follow epididymis duct, epididymis, and then it follow, like here I'm drawing as testis rough diagram. See here, in which rete testis is there, so vasa efferentia, then vasa differentia, and here epididymis, then from epididymis vasa differentia, and this vasa differential length start with duct. So like that we have various ducts in male reproductive system. Now coming to, there are three important accessory glands are present in male reproductive systems. So in that, first and most important accessory gland is seminal vesicles. Yes, seminal vesicles, and one more is prostate gland, and the third one is Cowper glands. Cowper's glands. So these Cowper glands also called bulbourethral gland. Cowper gland also called bulbourethral gland. So all these accessory glands, their main role is to secrete semen, and this semen provide energy to this sperm for this motility. Okay. So here, so among this we can identify which is the statement is not include in this male reproductive system. Yes. So vasa efferentia include here, vasa efferentia include in male reproductive system. So it include, and epididymis include male reproductive system, but infundibulum is not included in male reproductive system, and this infundibulum include in female reproductive system. So in female reproductive system, exactly where it is present we will discuss just. Yeah, so right answer here second, infundibulum. So in female reproductive system also we have two important structures, like three important structure, in which first and most important is primary sex organ. In female also we have primary sex organ and accessory sex organs, and also we have some external genitalia, very important. External genitalia are there in female reproductive. The external genitalia in female reproductive systems is external genitalia, that is vulva. Okay. So in primary sex organ in female reproductive system, that is very important, one pair of ovary. So why means this is why this ovary become primary sex organ, means the ovary play important role in production of ovum or eggs, or simply eggs or ovum, which is released from the ovary in the form of secondary oocyte. We can use any term, either we can use ovum or egg or secondary oocytes. And along with egg, this ovary also produce two important hormone, which is that they are progesterone hormone and estrogen hormone. So like that, there are two important hormones are produced from this ovary, and hormones and gametes are produced from this ovary, and they are the primary and most important organ to the female reproductive system. Hence, they are said to be as a primary sex organ. Now, coming to the accessory sex organ, in accessory here I am telling. In accessory sex organ, how they are present means like this. If you draw the structure of female reproductive system like this, here, sorry, just wait, yeah, here. So here uterus, and the end of the uterus here we have cervix and vagina, and here fallopian tube like this fallopian tube, and this fallopian tube has like these structures fibrae like this, and here we have ovary. See, one pair of ovary, here we have one pair of ovary, and here this one pair of ovary, and this region is fallopian tube we have, and here this important most important part uterus or womb, and below the uterus we have cervix region, and this is our vagina. So like that we have different parts in female reproductive systems. Okay, and here infundibulum is a part of fallopian tube, and generally these fallopian tubes again divided into three important parts. These fallopian tubes again divided into three important parts. Like the first part here, this part is called infundibulum, and then the above part, this here we have ampulla, and last at isthmus. So likewise there are three parts in fallopian tube. First here, and from fimbria from infundibulum only there are some finger like projection which arise, and this finger like projection is called fimbriae, and this fimbriae which receive the eggs after ovulation from the ovary, then it gives to the infundibulum. From infundibulum which moves to the ampulla. At ampulla and isthmus junction only the fertilization will occur like this. Here first, for example, and this, see here, and this part is called infundibulum, and this part is called ampulla, and this part is called isthmus. So the fertilization generally occur in at the junction of ampulla and isthmus. Here only there is a presence of eggs. Here one day the egg will be present in the junction of ampulla and isthmus here only. Okay, so where only the fertilization will be taking place. Okay, these are the important parts in female reproductive system. So find out infundibulum what? It is a female reproductive parts of fallopian tube. It is not a part of male reproductive systems. Okay, fine. So next 140th questions. Which of the following plant produce non-albuminous seeds? So these questions from sexual reproduction flowering plant which focus on seed. Do you know what is seed? Seed is nothing but after fertilization ovule become seed, and generally seed has two important structures like which is enclosed with seed coat, and inside the seed coat we have embryo. Seed coat has two important layers, the outer layer of seed coat and inner layer. So outer layer is called testa and inner layer is called tegma. And embryo made up of with two important structures, and the embryo has embryonal axis and it has cotyledons. Like that we have different structure of seed, but here they won't focus on structure of seed. Here we have to identify which is the non-albuminous seed. So before that, seeds are classified into two important categories based on endosperm retention. Based on here endosperm, generally endosperm formed by the double fertilization or triple fusion. Endosperm, so endosperm has 3n. Endosperm retention, based on endosperm retention, seeds are classified into two different types. So one is non-albuminous seeds. Here I am writing first one non seed, second one is albuminous seeds, and these non-albuminous seeds also called X seeds, and these albuminous seeds also called endosperm seeds. So here what exactly mean of non-albuminous or X-albuminous seeds means they have no residual endosperm, in which non-albuminous means non means no residual endosperm is present. Why there is no presence of endosperm? Because of the present endosperms are completely consumed during embryo development. So here it is completely, this endosperm completely consumed by the developing embryo. So here the embryo completely consume this endosperm, hence there is no presence of any residual endosperm. Such type of seeds are called non-albuminous seeds or X-albuminous seeds. So generally which is non-albuminous seeds mostly seen in dicotyledon plants are generally seen in this type of seeds, non-albuminous seeds, in which no endosperms are remain. Why? Because during development of embryo, the embryo which completely utilize this or consume this endosperms. And for example here like dicotyledon plants, like here we have like bean and pea plants and groundnuts, etc. So all these plants have dicotyledon plants and they always have non-albuminous seeds. Now coming to albuminous seeds, here I am writing about albuminous seeds. So retain part of endosperm. They contain some part of endosperm. They contain part of endosperm. So still endosperm present in this seed. Okay, and because why the endosperm retained in this seed means because this endosperm not completely used by embryo. Because why endosperms are still are remain present in seed means these endosperms not completely used up or consumed by embryo. Hence these endosperms remain in the seed. Such type of seeds are called albuminous seed, where in name only it suggests albuminous means endosperm seeds. Still there are some part of endosperm which is present inside this. Why? Because so in during which the embryo cannot completely consume this endosperm. Okay, so this type of albuminous seeds are generally seen in monocotyledon plant. Here I am writing mono plants. Mostly monocotyledon plants are albuminous seeds, but there are some exception. In dicotyledon plants also it contain albuminous seeds. Best example is castor. Exception is castor. Generally castor is a dicotyledon plant, but still it contain which type of seed? Albuminous seeds. This is the exception, but mostly albuminous seeds are monocotyledon, but exception castor is albuminous seed, but castor belongs to the dicotyledon plants. Okay, so this is all about the types of seeds based on endosperm retention. So once we go through these options here, non-albuminous seeds. So we need to find out what non-albuminous means. Dicotyledon plants. Here barley monocotyledon plants, wheat monocotyledon plants, maize monocotyledon plants. So B is the dicotyledon plant. Here see, just sorry, pea plant. Sorry, here pea plant is the right answer. Why? Because pea plant is a dicotyledon plant and it contains non-albuminous seeds. So right answer is second one. Okay, right.